Hey, I don't mean to brag, but now that I'm a 3-time champion, you'll probably notice that I have a larger fan base.
I'm sure you do. You know, we have the Grand Prix coming up in Austin this year. I'm sure my worldwide fan base would increase too, so, you know, it's all equal.
I forgot about Austin. I got you a little something for your car.
Oh, wicked.
It's very aerodynamic.
Do you have one of these on your car?
No, but it's going to look really good on yours.
Drivers, spark your engines!
I'd like to say hello to all the veterans. Thank you for everything that you've done for us over all of the years fighting for our freedom. We appreciate it.
Keselowski starting back in 14th spot. Jimmie Johnson back in 24th. Green flag at Phoenix.
Jimmie Johnson heard from his crew that his lap times were just a couple of tenths off, so they will make a wedge and air pressure adjustment, change 2 left side tires, try to give Jimmie a little more comfort entering the corners. It was a little edgy on the first 2 laps as well. Vince Welch?
Brad Keselowski says it's just a little bit too tight. They're also going to clean the grill. Left side tires only, no other chassis changes. Oh, he stalled it as he was exiting the pits. Got to have a push.
And the 48 goes by him. Rusty Wallace said on NASCAR Countdown about mistakes. There was one.
That's a very small one, but it could lead to bigger things.
Brad came in 11th. Jimmie came in 19th. So that exchange of track position there as we get set to go back racing.
See, Brad has now gone in front of Jimmie. Jimmie restarted on the outside, Brad on the inside. That was probably the only good thing that happened for Keselowski in that exchange. 3 wide now down the front straightaway.
Yeah, he's going to get a 2-for-1 on this one.
Montoya and Ambrose. Yo, that's close.
Yeah, you got to watch race around that 42 now. He's pretty aggressive. See, Gordon really working on the back bumper of Keselowski now. Get the spot. He gets it.
Yeah, I don't know if Brad slipped going into that corner, but sure allowed Gordon to get on his bumper.
One up wide in front of Keselowski. It's Montoya in the 42. Kept it off the wall. There's up the top of the screen there, Jamie. Brad Keselowski, leader. Staying on the racetrack longer than everyone else. 1 bonus point toward the championship for leading a lap for Brad Keselowski. Jimmie Johnson has yet to lead today. There's Matt Kenseth, Dave.
He had been running 7th.
Now, Jimmie Johnson has not yet officially led a lap.
They were trying to do it, but the only guy in their way, that 2 car. Jimmie complaining this time that he needs more grip under power. The car felt a little bit the same as it was last time. You see the wrench in the rear. He'll get a wedge adjustment on the left side. 4 fresh tires for Johnson.
And he is not going to lead a lap on this cycle of pit stops. Denny Hamlin has gone by on the track and reassumed the race lead. Talked about the 7-point difference starting the day between Keselowski and Johnson. 4 of those were bonus points for winning races, leading laps, and leading the most laps. Put 1 in the 2 corner today. Oh, Jeff Gordon in some trouble there off turn number 2. They're fanning out around him.
I think Jimmie Johnson was right in the middle of that.
Look at that scramble. Oh, look at this. Kate, 300 cars, 3 wide.
I believe that was the situation. Jeff kind of backing out a little bit there. It's almost like something happened to his car right at that moment. I was going to say he gave Jimmie a little bit of room, but it's almost like lost power for a minute.
Trying to catch that 48 car. He's 3 points behind the 48 right now.
And Brad gets by him, but Brad's been keeping 4 tires on that car all day long. You see his car's been strong through the middle. He's been able to go through traffic.
Menard has just been, Menard, Brad, up to 29. Yeah. I've been looking at him, but you've been looking at the 27.
I've been watching Paul Menard. Yeah, Rusty, you're right. 29's been very strong. They've both run well, and Jeff Burton, who happens to be running 14th right now, has had a strong day. So great day for RCR. In the news yesterday, Kevin Harvick leaving. What's going to happen with that Budweiser sponsorship? But right now, looks like RCR is marching back with some strong race cars.
And what might have been Kyle Busch missing being involved in this championship by the heartbreaking night in Richmond in early September. And even in the 2 races in this chase where he hasn't had one of those top 5 finishes, he was running up front in New Hampshire when they had an engine problem. He was running well in Kansas when he got tangled up with another competitor and crashed.
Goes the full cycle, which we're just about there. I expect every one of these teams to change 4 tires under green because they'll have to take 2 cans of fuel to make it to the end. So that's what I expect to see here.
It's going to get him here.
Yeah, he's going to have him here.
Well, Kyle held on as long as he could. A car that's gotten a little bit tight.
Separate yourself, be protective, still out.
79 laps to go. Brad Keselowski to the race lead.
Keselowski very comfortable. We got a problem with the 48.
48 is into the wall, Vince. Jimmy Johnson has hit the wall.
Go ahead and wheel it around here, buddy. We'll get some new tires on there. We'll take a look at it.
You know, once again, that worst possible spot, this tire's going to let go, coming full bore out of turn 4, hard hit.
That's exactly where we saw, I guess it was Gilliland, did the same thing, right, same spot.
You know, he'd been getting told that the others were running in a higher place, that they needed to pick the speed up they could to search around. And when you do that, you'll run a little bit harder.
Around there, we'll get to the garage and we'll get it changed.
May need some more brake to do that. Jimmy's one that uses a little more brake than some others to make his car work and get the speed out of it, and sometimes that's the chance that you take.
Saw the tire changer there signaling the cut signal to Chad that there was more damage there than they were going to be able to fix on the pit stop. And Jimmy Johnson's team is going to push this car behind the wall. What a moment in this championship.
Wow. Mentioned as Brad took the lead, that opened it up to where he was the leader in points by 3, but that is obviously going to be much greater before this day is over, as long as Brad doesn't have any problems.
And while Jimmy Johnson's team continues to work on that car, Dave.
The focus is on the right front suspension, Alan. They've got the cutting torch in there right now. They're trying to remove things, replacing. I can't tell if they're going to try to replace the entire right front spindle, but that is the part that they want to be very concerned with at this point. Goodyear did report that it was a melted bead on that right front tire, that excessive brake heat. And Jimmy had reported that his car was tight, that it was not turning, and that combination apparently led to the failure that we saw and possibly the end of Jimmy's championship run this year.
Johnson back on track in 33rd place, 38 laps down. Trouble off turn 2. Got a car spinning. Tony Stewart. The 14 car running in 14th place at the time. That didn't sound healthy. Looked like Menard ran out of brakes there, and then Stewart's going to run up.
Yeah, I was noticing the yellow Goodyear paint was worn off the left rear tire. Now I'll see why. See how difficult it is to see down into turn 1.
Wow.
39 check, stay in the middle, stay in the middle.
So Ryan Newman was the one that bobbled, and when Tony tried to cut under him, Eric Almirola got him and turned him around. Kyle Busch has been in this position on a number of occasions this season, and going back into last season where he's led a lot of laps in a race, and circumstances found a way to change things at the end of the day. Back to the pins and needles theme.
Yeah, this is a team that's had so many things to happen to him, and Kyle Busch is a driver. I'm sure he's sitting there hearing every little sound and wondering what in the world may happen this time, because the last 7 races that he's led the most laps, he has not won.
Kevin Harvick around the outside to the race lead with 7 laps to go. Jeff Gordon up into the outside wall.
looks like some damage on the left rear. Almost like got into his left rear.
He cut the tire.
Back to look at what happened to Jeff Gordon, running in 5th position. Racing with Clint Bowyer in the 15.
There's that contact on the left rear.
Now, from the black flag, he's turning Clint Bowyer into the wall, collecting Joey Logano. Caution flag is out. Almirola slides in. Did the leader take the white flag before the caution came out?
Slip into the garage straight right here. Fire's gone, fire's gone.
So we had shown you the replays of the initial contact between Jeff Gordon and Clint Bowyer, racing for 5th position. Then this, the payback, as Brad Keselowski, the championship leader, right in front of him, finds enough room to get by.
You see Clint, he's trying to figure out which way to go. He knows that Jeff's mad. Thought maybe his best shot was to go underneath.
Still there.
Jeff just very determined to take care of business.
Jeff has been summoned to the NASCAR hauler for a post-race visit.
Well, they said they were going to let him have at it. That's having at it right there.
That's a year's worth of frustration.
Oh, conflict. The Cruiser in it. Somewhere in the middle of that is Jeff Gordon.
You see 4 policemen guarding it. That is because Jeff Gordon and his crew chief, Alan Gustafson, are in there talking to NASCAR. Now, I was just told that these guys will escort Jeff Gordon back to his bus.
To go. Will it be Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, or someone else? Keselowski slipping, while Harvick clears Kyle Busch for the race lead. Danica Patrick into the wall, spinning back down into traffic. White flag is out. This is the last lap of the race. The wall dry spell for Kevin Harvick and Richard Childress Racing comes to a close at Phoenix. He slides to the finish line while they crash behind him. Keselowski threads the needle as cars crash to the checkered flag.
I don't understand why they didn't throw the caution there.
So let's look at all that happened.
Yeah, he just got in the left rear of Danica. She just goes up and crashes pretty hard. I'm surprised the caution didn't come out here.
And it should be thrown right there. Car sitting in the middle of the racetrack.
Look at the streak.
Wow. Brad Keselowski, very, very fortunate that he got back there without more damage and, wow, some hard hits right here.
Wow, look at the lick Danica took right there. Oh. What a mess.
Look at that streak. Look at it.
See Harvick just power sliding through there. A lot of cars. Oh, man. Kurt Busch hit a ton.